What up, SNA assassinators? Sorry about that. I don't understand why I did not still keep playing. Like it was hardly like on the half an hour mark. Like usually it'll pass an hour. Usually it will stop rolling. But hopefully this will last a bit longer than the last two combined. But let's continue to talk about the show on Monday Night Raw, the go home episode on July 1st. Back as what I was saying on the triple threat women's final qualifier match for the sixth spot of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, it was Zoe Stark, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Nile. This is where we got Ivy Nile then hit a German suplex onto Zoe Stark after hitting a flying head scissors. This is where then she go for a suplex on the Dakota Kai. This is where then for a 10-second standing suplex. Actually, I think Zoe Stark then flipped what's her name? Then get Dakota Kai flip right off of her though when she tried to go first. But this is where we got Edward Dakota Kai like grab Zoe Stark into a German suplex. But this is where we got Ivy now and went right behind her and hit a double German suplex on both women. This is where she go over a pin on Dakota, but this is where Dakota kicks out at 2.3. That's where then we got. This is where then we got. What happened? It was Zoe Stark then I believe hit her with a suplex, but this was trying to go for a pin. But this is where we got Dakota Kai save the matchup when referee was at 2.2. But this is where then we got Dakota Kai picking up Zoe Stark, but this is where Zoe Stark hit a big forearm right into the face of Dakota Kai. But this is where Dakota Kai then bounced right side, hit a scorpion kick with her back of her leg. This is where then she tried to close on Zoe Stark out of the ring. But this is where Zoe Stark hit her with a schoolgirl, flip her right over to a knee strike right into the face. This is where then we got Zoe Stark was like, "Yeah, I finally got you down." This is where we got what's her name? Zoe, not Zoe, Ivy now then go for a swift kick right into the left side of her chrome. Or dome, more likely dome. This is where she get hit with a German suplex. This is where we got Zoe Stark that kicks out at 2.8. Right once she got her in the pinfall of a German suplex. This is where we got the referee's like, yeah, it's only 2, not 3. This is where Ivy now is like, okay, I'm gonna have to come up with. I gotta get up and try to go for my finishing maneuver. This is where he tried to go for it. But this is where she tried to go. But this is where Zoe then kicks her right to the face. This is where Zoe started to go for a springboard, turn into a tornado DDT, hit her face first, right onto the canvas. This is where we got Dakota Kai and saw Zoe Stark bent over right onto her torso. This is where the Dakota Kai took advantage of the sunset flip backstabber, a finishing maneuver that we rarely see her do these days. This is where then we got Dakota then go for a cover. This is where we got Ivy now that came in for the save. Dakota would have probably gotten away with it and then be the second damage control member to join her ally Io Sky at the Money in the Bank ladder match if it wasn't for that meddling female bodybuilding looking wrestler. This is where then we got Ivy now then start getting herself right back up. This is where then she started going at it with Dakota Kai until Dakota Kai threw her right to the left corner side, draping her midsection right onto the middle rope. This is where then she goes for a springboard foot stomp, trying to break and crack what's her name's back, like Ivy Nile's back in half. This is where we got Kairi saying this Dakota on right to the left side. This is where she's like, you can do this, Dakota. You can do it. Like, keep on doing it. And this is where we got 2 girls, like one with blonde brunettish, and the other one have red hair, which it was clearly the current women's tag team champions, grabbing Kairi Sane from behind and threw her right into Barricade. This is where we got Ivy now. Then I'm not Ivy. Isla Dawn to start kneeing her right to in her neck. This is where we got. Zoe Stark that hit the super kick right into the face of Dakota Kai after she was distracted by the what's it called what's her name Ivy now and Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn and Albert Fire. And this is where then she turned around. She gets super kicked, paid the price onto front to Zoe Stark. This is where she bounced off to the left side, knocking over Ivy Nile. This is where then we got Huh?
I tested this one. It was watching.
Need some help opening this?
It's locked.
It's unlocked? Okay. But anyway, this is where we got Zoe Stark to hit Z360 onto Dakota Kai. She got the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match and the final 6th participant in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Zoe Stark. Now, I guess I'll give her a big congratulations for doing that. Yeah, this match definitely deserves the 3rd place spot. Like, hopefully I got it correctly. With Cross and Woods get 4th place, 5th place, Ray and Dom. Nothing out of the ordinary. Even though it was not a bad match, it was still good and very entertaining. But it's just that maybe they should continue to keep it they maintain might as well maintain keeping them away from each other because because their rivalry about a couple of years ago was one of a kind, and then they should have kept it that way. For ever since they ended the feud, ever since they ended the feud a year ago at WrestleMania 39, they should have kept it while it is and went to their separate ways. I mean, it's fine. They revisit the feud from time to time, but more when it's a multi-man match. Let's hope this will be the final time we see them fighting each other one-on-one until Rey Mysterio decides to retire. Which I'm not sure when that will be. Just let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about that actually after we do with this replay of this vignette of with Uncle Howdy kind of interviewing himself, which is Bo Dallas. This is where he's like, "Why are you?" He's like, "Why you want to do this?" This is where Bo Dallas like, "I want to do this just to dedicate this to my late brother, who sadly passed away," and he clearly said this was supposed to be a faction when he was still alive in the first place, but it got taken away from him ever since he's been out of television about over a year ago. And then this is where Bo Dallas covered his face. He was like, and this is where Uncle Howdy then said what makes it so special for you? This is where here's where it took him about 26. I guess special in the plot as for others or not, but there's the others that are less than deserve to be forgotten. And then he's at. And he's and then it's and then we're exactly the guys that everybody wanted to forget about. And then this is where he's like, and we're the ones that everybody abandoned, which he repeatedly said. If you echoing up on the mountain, this is where then we got the Bo Dallas is yeah, we made them notice. And this is where Uncle Al's there you are. And then this is where and then Uncle Al's and yeah, how do you believe then you can bring them back to life? And then this is where Bo Dallas is beats me I'm still figuring that out. This is where he starts shaking his head because I was chosen and I would be willing to the clay the hands of the body of the and die to the flesh and become something. This is where he started chuckling, smile psychotic way, look like a mentally I'll say a mentally unstable serial killer while doing so in the process. Yeah, that's the point of the gimmick. This is where he's and I turned into a family, and he's and we became a family, Uncle Howdy. This is where then Uncle Howdy's have we? And this is where then Bo Dallas is yeah, we absolutely did, and this is where he starts scratching his head, start rubbing it, and then this is where it's and even now that there's Frost probably believe that really run families for their own games. And then this is where they start breathing things it gets absolutely disgusting, man. And this is where then we got Uncle Howdy to start have a big grin. This is where then Bo Dallas and they must pay for their sins. And this is where then we got Uncle Howdy's and you think this is gonna be your responsibility? And then this is where then Bo Dallas is I am that voice of the reckoning. And then this is where Uncle Howdy respond back saying, I am the reckoning. And then this is where they started repeatedly saying that to one another. And then I was thinking to myself, like, how they did the CGI, like special effects, with them looking face to face. Like, we got the actual Bo Dallas, like, is a person without his makeup and mask, Uncle Howdy custom made mask. While there's Uncle Howdy right there. Like, they must have did some, maybe did one slide that they got Uncle Howdy, like, with him speaking as Uncle Howdy with the echoing high pitched voice, while they have the, like, when him taking off the makeup and the mask, with still some left in his face and beard, like him speaking and responding to Uncle Howdy. Like, they did some kind of effect right there, and then they edited it out and then put it in the same time frame, like with them going face to face in the same room, like with Uncle Howdy in the right side and then Bo Dallas in the left, like they do in movies. Like when there's an actor playing 2 or 3 guys at once, like they have them do this, have them do like the same special. I mean, like have them doing it in a different time, but putting it together when they're editing, like on the picture frame of who's in the scene. Yeah, if you know what I mean. But let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. Like, yeah, like I'm impressed on how they did the special effects like that with them, like looking like if it all happened all at once, but it happened like one at a time, but they put it all together in one. But anyway, let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got Rey Mysterio was heading out to the ring against his son Dominic Mysterio. That's where he got. This is where we got Rey Mysterio that got into a headlock with Dominic Mysterio. This is where we got Dominic Mysterio going for a wrist lock right onto his father. This is where Rey Mysterio tried to flip right out, do a handstand flip, do a wrist lock, Irish whip him right to the top corner. This is where we got Dominic Mysterio counter out of it, did a floor sliding duck. This is where then he go for a leapfrog right onto what's his name? Rey Mysterio. This is where we got what he did. Like he counted out an Irish whip. He ducked the duck, and he did a drop kick right onto this father Dominic. This is where Rey Mysterio then start kicking some dirt from the ground and kicking it right to his face, like if he was some kind of high school bully. This is where then he went up right up on the apron. This is where he started taunting him. He was like, "Yeah, this is my night, and you're going to respect that," or something like that. This is where then he grabbed him and did a headlock. This is where we got Dominic still countering once again. This is where then he did the leapfrog. This is where he tried to go for like a bottom leapfrog, but this is where Rey Mysterio kicks him right in the gut. Smart move from the masked underdog. This is where then he went to the top rope, hitting the flying head scissor right onto Dirty Dominic. This is where we got Rey Mysterio got right up on the bottom apron. Hit a diving Hurricane Rana, hitting them back first right onto the barricade. This is where Rey Mysterio was like, "Yeah, time to take out the trash." And then this is where it didn't start kicking him right into the face, getting some kind of justice onto his arch rival son, which that calls him the disrespectful names, which is one of them being Deadbeat. But this is where we got Dominic still to try to go for a Poison Rana, but this is where the Rey Mysterio then fell right up on the top rope, hitting him right into his family jewels. But yeah, luckily he already started a family, but you never know. He probably want to start a new one, a better one, like without Dominic being in the picture, I guess you could say. But Aaliyah could still be there, but it won't be with Dominic. But anyway, this is where we got Dominic Mysterio start hitting some right hands right into the face of Rey Mysterio. This is where then we got the Rey Mysterio. This is where start hitting some left, left, start punching him right to the. This is where Dominic Mysterio's like, "Yeah, I got better than my dad," and this is where fans like, "Ew, no, not really." And even my own mom even said that too, because she just cannot stand Dominic Mysterio this way. And and everybody probably would tell her who could blame her on that one. But this is where then we got Rey Mysterio then then got tossed right to his son, right into the bottom, from his son, right into the bottom corner rope. Hit a spinning European uppercut. Is where then we got him try to go for a pin, but then we got Rey Mysterio got the right shoulder up at 2.7, I think, was it? Something like that. But anyway, this is where then we got Dominic Mysterio then grab onto to Rey Mysterio. This is where then he started slapping him stuff. Come on, Rey, come on, Rey. And I was like, really? Did he have to say his name? Like, and say, yeah, like this is like it's one thing of calling him it's one thing to call him a deadbeat, but calling him by his name is definitely going a step way too far. Like it is very unforgivable. Like you should not call your parents something. It's called them by their name. Like it's very disrespectful, plain disrespectful. Like that's more like you know better than a spoiled child that would insult what's that insults their parents in a even worse way. Like I'm not sure if I even said that correctly, like or phrased it correctly, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like you're no better than a spoiled child than start throwing a tantrum at its parents. Like if they don't give if the parent doesn't get them what they want, like you're more worse than that. Like this is where then Rey Mysterio started stomping right onto the back of Rey Mysterio. This is where then he started squeezing the back of his head. This is where fans were like, let's go, Ray. Clap, 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 clap. And they were like, Rey Mysterio or Papa Ray and stuff like that. This is where and then this is where then fans start saying, like, we hate you, Dominic, and stuff like that. Yeah, this is what. And then this is where then we got Dominic Mysterio then threw Rey Mysterio shoulder first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where then he hits him with a reverse clothesline from behind. This is where he started standing. This is where he starts standing on Mysterio's chest and when he was landing flat on his back. This is where then he demanded the referee to count. This is where he started shaking him. He's like, referee, count. And then this is where he's like, okay, like I'll make sure that if it's a pin or not. And then this is where he's like, and this is where Dominic Mysterio's like, it is a pin. Like, so just start counting to 3. And this is where he started counting to 1 and he counted to 2. But this is where we got Rey Mysterio got the shoulder up right after 2, which I'm assuming that was 2 even. This is where then Dominic Mysterio's like, you better not be messing with me or trying to help my dad win this match. This is where the referee's like, no, I'm doing my job being a fair official, who is going to be winning like in a fair way, like when like we're both having the the fair balance on both ends. Like I'm trying to make it be fair in both of y'all's balances. Like we both have like a 50% a chance of winning, and then the other half like the same way. And this is where then we got Dominic Mysterio then tosses Rey Mysterio right into the upper left side. But this is where he gets kicked right into the head. Right in the face, I should say. This is where then we got Rey Mysterio to trip over. Dominic Mysterio, when he tried to charge at him, he did not know what move to hit him in particular, which that was a huge mistake from the second generation superstar. This is where then we got Rey Mysterio then grabbing Dominic Mysterio's head, started hitting him face first right onto the turnbuckle, like about 100 times at least, if not like 2 or 3 or even 500 times. That's where the Rey Mysterio then went right up on the top rope right after he did that. Once Dominic Mysterio got back up, this is where the Rey Mysterio then hit a leg drop senton right onto Dominic Mysterio. This is where he tried to go over clothesline. Rey Mysterio ducks out of it. This is where he springboards right in the top corner, cross bodies him right over the so-called hardened criminal of the Judgment Day. This is where then we got Rey Mysterio then was about to go up right up on the top rope to hit his finishing frog splash maneuver that he always paid homage to Eddie Guerrero. And I was like, man, what is up with most wrestlers having that doing the frog splash? They're paying tribute to the late great Latino Heat man himself. Like, but this is where then we got Liv Morgan then distracted Rey Mysterio. He's like, oh, hey, daddy. And then this is where the Rey Mysterio's like, first of all, you're not my daddy. Like, and secondly, like Dominic is no longer my son, so that doesn't make just because you might be dating my former son behind closed doors doesn't make you my daughter-in-law. And then this is where then Liv Morgan's like, oh, stop it, Ray. Like you know that you want to bring your son back to the family, and you know you want to welcome me because we go way back. And this is where Ray Mysterio like, yeah, but that was before you started having this this so-called secret relationship with my former son. And then this is where then Dominic still try to close on him out of the ring, but this is where he hits him shoulder into Dominic's midsection. This is where then we got him going for a springboard sunset flip, but this is where Dominic Mysterio flip right out of it. This is where he tried to go for a sling without a catapult. More likely a catapult flapjack, which he successfully did, hit him face first, but unsuccessfully hit him right to the right corner side ropes if he was trying to go for the 619. But this was like, I have a better idea. This is where he started going for the single-legged Boston Crab. Maybe it's because he was from Boston, because it's very rare to see Dominic Mysterio hitting that maneuver in particular. But yeah, like I was like, that's very odd. Like, why you're doing this maneuver? Like you're not even from Boston. Like you're actually from San Diego. But this is where then we got Rey Mysterio to try to grab onto the right corner side ropes, and this is where he got on the bottom rope. This is where the referee's like, all right, it's a rope break. Like let go. Like 1, 2, 3, and this is where he go at 3. This is where then we got Liv Morgan. Then it was like, come on, like my daddy Dom, like. Show who's the real daddy in the business. This is where then he then try to go for the Three Amigos. And I was like, what is up with everybody doing the Three Amigos and the Frog Splash? Like if they're the next Eddie Guerrero, like I think they should. I think that move, like in the combination, should retire. With all due respect, I know they're trying to pay tribute to Eddie Guerrero. I'm not. I'll say my reason why I would say that is because it's because that the Three Amigos hardly get successfully hit with the 3 suplexes. But this is where then we got Rey Mysterio to trip over Dominic Mysterio. But before I continue, I'll be right back. Yes. Why didn't you just say so? Instead of just shouting, you just came up to Uncle Junior. Oh well. But as what I was saying, this is where we got Rey Mysterio was about to hit a 619. This is where then we got I believe Liv Morgan to help get get Dominic Mysterio out of the way. This is where Rey Mysterio was like, "What are you doing, Liv? Like you're like if like." Like, I know you got some kind of a fetish with my former son, but did you really have to cost me the match and meddled? Like, and then this is where then Liv Morgan was like, my precious, sweet, gorgeous Dom. Like, are you doing all right? Like, your father didn't beat you up too much. This is where then Dominic Mysterio was like, like no, he didn't do too much, and he's like, and why are you so concerned? It's where the Morgan's like, that's because we're together. Remember, honey. And this is where Dominic Mysterio's like, honey, like what? And this is where the Rey Mysterio hits a baseball sliding drop kick right onto Dominic's back. He landed right on top of Liv Morgan. It was like exactly 3 weeks ago, except this time Dominic Mysterio was on top of her, which I'm not sure what exactly that meant. Like, I'm not sure who was supposed to be playing the game of cowboy or cowgirl, but yeah, this was definitely a non-PG moment right here. With Dominic Mysterio was on top of her this time, like how Liv was on top of him when the last time they were in this kind of predicament. But this is where we got Rey Mysterio or Dominic Mysterio's like, oh my god, like this is where trying to escape. This is where this is where Liv was like, no, don't feel shy, don't fight it, don't fight, just take it. And I was like, oh my god, I'm not sure if I want to see this. I nearly puked when I seen this. I was like, yeah, like it was worse before, but it just got more worse than it did the last time when this happened. But this is where we got Rey Mysterio finally got her off of her. This is where we got Rey Mysterio to try to throw Dominic Mysterio, but this is where then we got Dominic Mysterio countered him to DDT onto him, dropping him on his neck. This would try to go for a pin, but Mysterio kicked out at the last second, but it was at 2.7. But this is where then we got Liv Morgan try to get up on the top rope. But this is where we got Liv Morgan. They got ambushed from behind, but Liv Morgan spotted this before she can even attack her from behind. This is where she went. This is where it was Zelina Vega that hit a Luthez, jump right on top of her, hitting some Luthez press right into her face. This is where we got Liv Morgan encounter, then spin around, hitting some strikes on her. This is where we got Liv Morgan that got thrown right into the barricade in the upper left side. That's where we got Rey Mysterio was distracted. He was like, what's going on out here? Like, it looks like if there's a tornado hitting around this area in the ringside area. This is where we got Dominic Mysterio then decided to go for a drop kick right onto the back of his dad. This is where he tried to go for his finishing maneuver to his dad, or signature move, like to his dad, the 619 onto Dominic. This is where then Dominic Mysterio then went up right up on the top rope. This is where then we got Zelina Vega then distracted the Judgment Day member, but this is where Liv Morgan to try to help out her soon-to-be kayfabe boyfriend and shove her right off on top of the apron. That's where then we got. That's where then Liv Morgan's like, you can do this, Dom, and this is where then Zelina's like, oh, shut up, you crazy witch, and then this is where then she trips her over and hit her back first, right on. Give that to your new Dommy boy. This is where she made Liv Morgan made Dominic trip right over on the top rope and landed on his family jewels. And it seemed like that he's not gonna be starting a family anytime soon, whether it's his real life girlfriend or his kayfabe girlfriend that's on Monday Night Raw now. Well, I'll say in real life, I don't think he would unless they start really dating, obviously. But yeah, but you get what I mean. But it seems like he's not going to be be known as the future father in the next 14 days because he just got hit right into the jewels. This is where we got Rey Mysterio kind of taking advantage of this. This is where he knocked over his son right off the top rope. This is where he hits a springboard pin drop spot when he off the top of the apron. He remained to be, I believe, 3-0 against Dominic Mysterio when it comes into matches when it's only just him. But yeah, he hits him with the springboard dive right onto his son. He got the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, Rey Mysterio. And I want to give a big win to the legendary luchador underdog. And I understand why Corey Graves called him a deadbeat and called him a horrible father. Like when he did exactly what a father would do for his kids and provide for them and make sure that they're not hungry or homeless. And then they weren't without anything. And he even Rey Mysterio even bought him a BMW when he was a teenager, when he was going to high school. Like I wish I was so fortunate like that. Like so, what's Dominic's problem? Like for him getting the very coolest stuff and the most prestigious objects, and have a nice big house, and did not want it for nothing. Like yeah. But anyway, this is where we got Sami Zayn then got into the ring. This is where he addressed Braun Breaker. He's a very dangerous dude, and he's very quick and fast. He has the speed, he has the strength, and he showed everything. He has that figure like a champion. And this is where then we got a recap of what's that? The UFC event from this past weekend with this Japanese MMA fighter Rei Tsuruya, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Hopefully I pronounced it right. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura was in this corner supporting him, representing Japan. I believe that was the reason why. But this is where we got anyways, back to the promo segments where he's like, how's everybody doing here in Boston? He's like, and it's pretty good to walk back in this exact arena as the Intercontinental Champion. And then this where then he's like, and I hear the buzz and I hear the chatter, and it seems that everybody seems to think that Braun Breaker is going to run right through me. And then this is where fans are like, I don't know about that. I don't think you may be a tough puppy, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a pushover to him. When it comes to the title match at this weekend's premium live event. But this is where then everybody. This is where Sami Zayn's like, to be honest, like I don't blame these people that think that about Braun Breaker, thinking I'm just an easy target. Because let's look at Braun Breaker's figure right now. Like he's an athletic freak. He's strong as hell. He's fast as hell. Like and he's breaking guys in half every week on Monday Night Raw, giving him a little praise and complimentary on how he's been on Monday Night Raw as of late. And this is where he's like he does that week in, week out. But I want to say this once as completely as I can, just to make sure that I am not misunderstood. Like I am going to be Braun Breaker, I get Money in the Bank, and remain as your Intercontinental Champion. And this is where then he continues saying, like, I take nothing away from Braun Breaker, and I acknowledge his determination of becoming champion. But this is where then before he can even say anything else about the former NXT champion, he heard him saying his name a bit too much than he wanted him to. This is where then he walked out in the ring. You know the rules, and if you haven't, I'm gonna tell you like on page 08. Like if you mention somebody's name and they happen to be in the same arena that you're in, they're gonna eventually come out and see what the hell you want. That's what Braun Breaker did right here tonight. Onto Sami Zayn. This is where he wiped his face. This is where he's like, "Listen here, Sami. Like you gained a little bit of my respect last week because everybody else back there is afraid of me. Like they see me coming in the hallway, they come around, they go to the other direction, and not you. Like you actually came to find me, challenged me to a fight, and you gave me a shot, an opportunity even for the Intercontinental Championship, which tells me two things right here. One reason you got some guts, Sami. And two, you got no idea what you are looking for right here. Fans are booing boo. You're telling this to Sami when he defeated somebody that's double your size. And despite him being double your size, you've beaten this guy before. And then that's how Sami became the Intercontinental Champion, by beating the same guy that you beaten. This is where the Braun Breaker was this Saturday at Money in the Bank. That all that stuff is going to be out of the window, because in this very ring, I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to break you and decimate you in this very ring and become the new IC champion. And then this is where then Sami Zayn part breaks you're saying that you're gonna beat me down, you're gonna break me in half, and all that stuff. Well, I don't think you're gonna do all that, but even if you do so, it's not gonna be a bother me, because I've been through before, how many guys I've been at. And you can, even if the guy's double times your size, and even half your size, they're double the things that you're claiming that you're going to do to me this weekend. I've been through it all. Imagine how many times I've been beaten down and I've been broken and half. It happened about over 1,000 times, and 1,000 times and despite those thousands of times, I pick myself right back up and I get better. And that's the difference between you and all this guy you run through every single week, and that I get right back up every single time. And if you don't believe me, just proof is right here, right into your face, that I'm carrying right now. And that is the Intercontinental Championship. And then this is where then Braun Breaker started. I was I'm impressed with that. This is where then Sami Zayn is like, do you want this? You really want this? Even me, myself, really want you to have this. Braun Breaker. I really want to try to take this away from me. I want you to try your very best. And here's the thing, Braun. If I really have to stand in this ring and tell you about who exactly I am, that's going to tells me that neither you have done your homework. And this is where Braun Breaker started grinning and smiling. And he's like, in late with you, you're not as smart as you say you are. And this is where the fans are it's very delicious and flavorful. Tell mommy that she did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She did an amazing job on the chicken. Yeah.
She did a fast.
But this is where then we got anyway. This is where we got Sami Zayn that said like I hope you can do the best at this Saturday, and hopefully what you're saying is going to be true, and you're going to back up those words. And I will see you this Saturday at Money in the Bank, and I will be taking this with me to prove a statement. And then this where then dropped the mic. That's where then we got Braun Breaker looked like he was about to leave, but instead he turned around and speared Sami Zayn right in the middle of the ring. Then half the fans were barking while the other one was booing like boo. And then that's where then Sami Zayn was like my ribs in the arena. But this is where we got Sami Zayn out of the ring in the right side. This is where he turned around. This is where he did shrug emoji like why not? Like it's not like I'm gonna get suspended for doing this. This is where then he went right into the bottom corner of the ringside area once he was leaving the left side. This is where he tried to go for a spear again, but this is where we got Sami Zayn moving right out of the way. And this is where he hits head first collision right into Simba the Steel Steps. And this is where fans are like, oh my God, he moved. And this is where they had to mute it out the audio because the fans were chanting Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea like about 100 times straight. This is where even Michael Cole looked like he was about to say, like, "Oh my God!" Like that's very painful. Like even though he's very tough, nobody could not be invincible when nobody cannot be invincible. Like if they hit that unforgiving stairs right into that corner, this is where they start continuing to say Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea more and more. This is where we got Sami Zayn start hitting some right hands to the face of Braun Breaker. This is where he bounces his head face first right up on the announce table. And he started hitting some right hands to the face of Braun Breaker. This is where Braun Breaker tried to push him off and try to go right back in the ring. This is where Sami Zayn then try to finish him off and beat him down for good and send him a message on what he could possibly do this Sunday. This is where then he followed him right back in the ring when Braun Breaker did. This is where they tried to close on Sami, but Sami caught him, hit him with the exploder suplex right onto into the corner. That's where they tried to go for. That's where I tried to go for a luva kick, but this is where Braun Breaker intercepted him and hit him with a spear again. Third time was the charm, even though they weren't in the match. But this is where, But this is where Braun Breaker then grabbed onto the Intercontinental Championship. He's like, your days as IC champion is numbered. You got about exactly 5 days until I become champion. Well, maybe perhaps I should say it in this way. He's like, you only got about 120 hours left until I become the IC champion. This is where then he hold up on top. And it showed that Sami Zayn's probably most likely going to retain right here because, like I said plenty of times before, and I'll say it again, when somebody gets the upper hand against their laddered opponent, exactly on the go-home show right before the pay-per-view, they normally lose. And maybe that could be the case right here. But let me know in the comments below if you think that Braun Breaker is going to maintain this dominance and beat Sami Zayn, and he's going to be his next victim. And then Braun Breaker is going to become the Intercontinental Champion, or do you think Sami Zayn is going to retain somehow with him somehow outsmarting what's that called, the second generation superstar? And showing that he's the Intercontinental Champion for a reason, which I think that might be the case. And I think the person that could possibly beat Sami Zayn could be the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Because Sheamus really do need to get this win and finally become the IC champion. Because it's been way past due, of him becoming that championship about 2 years ago. Even though they were trying to give a longer reign to the ring general and become the greatest Intercontinental Champion, and by beating the longest reigning champion all of WWE's history, which is the Honky Tonk Man, which he did so, and that's why we saw Sami Zayn dethrone him as the Intercontinental Champion on Night 1's WrestleMania. But let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. But let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got them recapping what happened this past Friday when Solo Sikoa kicked out Paul Heyman out of the Bloodline. Well, I guess in his version of the Bloodline. This is where then we got This is where we got Kathy Kelly then apologize to Dakota Kai and then ask her a question, saying like, "I'm sorry, unfortunately you came up short at the Money in the Bank ladder match, Money in the Bank qualifier match to get into the ladder match." This is where Dakota Kai is like, "Yeah, I know, unfortunately, and this is where she was trying to keep herself from crying, but this is where she was like." It was happening to be showing this where she was like as much as it would be great to see Io meet me in this match with Io, and this is where she turned her sadness into anger. This is where she was like unfortunately I'm not going to be making it to the ladder match. And then this is where she was like but I am totally sick and tired of being treated like if I'm I'm getting sick and tired of not being treated like if I'm the most important figure here in